Hey guys, so we're gonna do some plying today. I've got my quills on my Lazy Kate, and I'm going to ply them together on the quill that I have here on the bobbin, and yeah, shouldn't take too terribly long. We'll get started. So this is a different drive wheel that I've got here. It's not a new drive wheel, it's the same concept I used in the Porter wheel, where it's just two boards nailed across each other, making the octagon, because you've cut it to the specific length that you need so that you get a regular octagon. But the problem is the 1x8, which I believe is what I used to make this, is just too heavy by the time you get all this wood on the wheel, and it's awkward to spin because on the other one your finger can sit in here and just make this rotation around the thing, and on this one it's got to make this rotation. So to me at least, I do feel like it's a bit more unruly to add this counter twist, and I haven't really tried actually spinning the single plies using this drive wheel yet. I'm getting ready to go to a spin-in though later this month, and I kind of like to have different examples of like how easily you can construct this stuff though, and this is definitely a concept people can pick up really at face value, because it's just the two boards nailed across each other with these little blocks put in the corners to catch the band, and that's all there is to it. And it works great. If I were to put a peg on here to hold a footman and I were to treadle it, it would be fine for that. But like I was saying, as far as it being a hand crank, it's got your hand going out quite a ways to rotate it. If you were to go ahead and put some kind of like little peg in here that you could do this, it would be a lot easier. But it's not necessary as long as you go with like a thinner board for your spoke or your cross brace. I do like though how with this one drive wheel on here, the whole thing looks like something that you can see in an event like the spin-in, and then you can just go home and reconstruct it without having any of the specifics and stuff, because you kind of got that this was just a cross cog, and then the drive wheel was just a cross cog, and then the actual frame of the spinning wheel is more or less a cross brace, and spindle out on the ends, spindled just by an upper receiver. That's pretty basic. I think people could approximate something similar to it that would work for them and have them spinning after like just seeing this, you know, kind of in a crowd. And I like that idea of giving somebody an example of how to do something so that they can go home and concoct their own method based on the principle they saw. I'm liking plying pretty easy here. So I believe that the width on this wheel, the diameter, is 17.5, so that would make this ratio 17.5 to 1, because the diameter on the spindle pulley is 1 inch, and that's not bad for doing these, applying these two quills together. I think it'd do pretty good for spinning the singles as well, but like I said, I haven't done that yet. I might give it a shot, because I do want to take this to the spin-in, and I want to kind of be familiar with it, so when people see it, they can actually see me using it. and it not just sit there as an example. I want to be fluent in the motion so that it encourages people to do something of the same idea. People have really taken to this great wheel, though, which surprises me a little bit because I've always kind of wanted a great wheel, but I thought I was a bit odd in that respect. I didn't realize other people were going to be taken so much with a hand-operated spinning wheel, but I think people love the idea of being able to sit down with it because they just kind of have this idea in their head that if you're using a great wheel, you're standing beside it or even walking back and forth as you do your drafting, and the idea that you can just sit in the chair and go at it, people just love it, think it's really approachable, but I'll tell you something else that is striking me while I'm operating this is it's not only how far around I'm having to crank, but it's how far I got to go back before I can wind back on. It's like I'm taking a bigger jump from this side to this side to reverse the motion. I don't know how many of you have watched me on the drive wheel I primarily use on this setup, but it goes really quick when I do my little part kickback just to okay, so I broke one of my plies. What I'm going to do is leave a couple inches right here to the end of it, and I'm going to spin. I'm going to apply some twist into there. Then when I come down here and get this in that's broken and I splice it in, I've already got the twist to kind of glue that together even before I really get to where I add it in with the wheel. And I'm good to go. I really do not mind brakes at all when it comes to plying because I have found that they are very simple to splice together. I don't know if I'm alone in that or if people don't really have an idea about how to overlap them, but it's just never caused me much of an issue, and I'd never find them when I'm knitting with this yarn either. I don't come across a little tail or two little tails where I've overlaid them and then added the twist, so I'm not really sure what happens there. But when you're knitting, you go through all the yarn again, inch by inch, and to not even be able to pick it up then when you're handling it piece by piece means it really is making a good join. And I think for my preference, I could put up with it not making such a good join. I could handle it being a little more artisanal, kind of having some ends sticking out here and there. I mean, just out of an individual stitch to make it look, a little more authentic or handcrafted, but it just doesn't happen. It kind of falls in, looks like all the other yarn, and then by the time you get it knit, it's pretty uniform and looks almost machine made. Well, I kind of want to cut this week short so that it's easier to edit and get out to you. I'm running late on my posting, so I think I will probably end it here. I've still got some yarn on my quills, but it's not going to amount to too terribly much more on the wheel, so it would just be more of the same if I carried on. I will probably get back to you maybe this coming week using this drive wheel again, but actually spinning a single and see how I like that, because although I don't want to encourage people to use this wheel, I always want it to be an option or a crutch in the building process where they can maybe start with this wheel and then get their other wheel done while they already have a drive wheel to get up and going, because the cross brace structure really doesn't take any time at all to build, and so either the spindle pulley or the drive wheel is the only bit that would get a bit fidgety and have you maybe waiting an extra day to start spinning on your new wheel. And I think this is a good half measure to stop that. So hopefully it'll work out. I'm liking it. I really like how simplistic the design is, and like I said, I like the fact that people can get the concept while looking at it at a public event and then go home and pretty much recreate it just from memory. So I hope you liked it, and yeah, see you later in April.